Redneck Muck, peace. So, I don't want to say I'm going to tackle every car guy's worst nightmare because it's not. That's a bunch of other stuff. Rust would be one of them. But I'm going to tackle one of those projects that a lot of car guys don't tackle. And that's on Cleo here. You can see she has this nice retractable top here. You know, so if you look here, you can see the duct tape that's keeping it together. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the original top, and it's seen better days. I have a new top, supposedly made off the original Studebaker patterns. We'll see how well it fits, but anyway, I've never done a convertible top. I've done some interior work, seat covers, stuff like that. Convertible top? No, I've always shied away. And this could kind of be a game changer for me if I learn how to do this, and it works out fairly well, because then those cars you see on Facebook Marketplace, and you're like, man, that's a pretty good buy, but it needs a top. So, you know, if you pay somebody to do a top, you're talking $2,500, $3,000, maybe more, depending on the car. The top kit for this was $700. So, you know, that's a huge difference. She's going to look great with a new top on her. So yeah. So today I'm going to concentrate on getting the old top off. So, probably a lot of, what I want to call it, fast mode going on, because this trim's got to come off, because the top rolls underneath it. This trim's got to come off around, and you know, like this trim's got to come off. So, and I don't know, is this rubber seal made into the new top? Is it going to have a rubber seal? Am I going to come up with something? I don't know. I have not dug through the top because I do not want to unbox it until I am ready to start trying to install it. So we'll see what I get done today. I really don't think it's a day or 2-day project. The way I work, I think it's going to take me a couple weekends. It could take me more. I don't know. So this could be a multi-part video. We'll see what I get done and all that. But I will try to bring you along for as much as possible and see if, you know, we can learn anything in the process. And hopefully when we're all done, we have a nice looking convertible top or a reasonable facsimile thereof.
Down the southern Indiana road, I'll ride. Leave my 1-2 with my pride. Got my dog Desi by my side. Oh, so tough. Redneck mud, driving through the redneck mud. Red candy canes, grease on my jeans. Chickens clucking, donkeys kicking, it's just the scene. Bloody boots of southern roots, I had enough. Redneck mud, peace, that's my stuff. Redneck mud, yeah, that's where I'm home. Ain't no place like home, sweet home. Redneck mud, peace, that's my tune. Rocking down the road with the rebels crew.
So you can see it, right here's the seam in the top. So the top's in 2 pieces. You got the window in the back, and then the front half. I say 2 pieces, it's got more because it's got other little things too. But so they staple this down, the window first, and then the top comes back and it staples here, and you trim it off. And this is where that little seam cover goes that you see on all of them. And I assume they glued it down. I don't know, I'll have to check and look. And then I also had to pull a piece of weather stripping here and probably on up through here. I'll have to pull this off too, which isn't in horrible shape. If it comes off in one piece, that's actually where it's supposed to come apart at. But anyway, so yeah. And then all of those brackets have to come off. That's where the edge bolts down. I'm actually feeling pretty good about it at the moment, but yeah, so it's going fairly well. We just have a buttload of staples to remove, and if we get a buttload of staples removed, I got to separate the top and the back so I can kind of look at it. All right, so we got that all unstapled, so it can roll up. It's rolled up further over there because the top's ripping, because it should be underneath this bracket. We haven't taken the brackets off yet. That'd be next. Take the brackets off. I did notice that these runners are just felted. Most tops I've seen like hook onto those somehow, but this, it just kind of sits there, so that might actually make things easier. But yeah, there's where we're at so far. Little by little, lots of staple pulling. Alright, so I got all the brackets off, everything's loose. So then in Hyperlapse, there was a chrome piece here with a seal. It had screws all the way down to here. So I took those off, and then this dude just stapled on. So we're currently removing staples. We get all these staples removed, and we'll have it all done. Well, all done. We'll have all the top ready to come off. So that's the next plan. Top ready to come off. Look at her go to town, man. She is kicking butt. Boof. So this piece that I thought was part of the back window actually looks like it's an extra piece, because the convertible top had a seam here. Maybe that seam is already there and it come undone, but it had staples there, so I'm not exactly sure. We'll find out if this was part of the convertible top or if the convertible top meets here with this. But I'll let you know when I do the other one. But here's the staples for the back window. So this is all just the same again. We take all these staples out and then take the back window off. And this is the window well liner, which we'll be replacing also. So this is the tack strip where everything goes. You can see it's a little beat up right here and soft in places. The tacks are still holding really well, but I've got a trick to harden this up that will help out. And what that trick I've learned through woodworking is this right here. This is really thin, basically super glue, and I'm just going to put a bunch all the way down through here, and it'll just soak in, it'll harden this dude up, and then it'll hold my tacks when I return really well. So I don't know where to get a tack strip for the 61 Studebaker, so this is what I'll do to take care of it. And this should take care of it just fine. right, I think we have everything off we need off. You can see the super glue drying here. I think it'll bite pretty well because those staples were stuck good and tight. It's just a top layer that looks kind of rough, but I think it'll be fine. You can see this is what it should look like if it looked good, but then you can see I just got felt here, so I might throw some black paint on these ribs to, well, we got everything off. That way it's good and covered. You can see where the top was glued on here. I have glue for that, and this is a kind of a different tack strip on the front. So I think I can push the top frame back now, and then my next step is going to be I'm going to pull the back seat out and the door panels out because I want to see if I can make the power top work, because despite being a 1961, it did have a power top. Everything is there as far as wiring goes. The pump, I was told, was rebuilt, and it's on the shelf over here along with the cylinders that were supposedly rebuilt. So the only thing I'm missing is lines, but it'll be real easy to hook the pump up and see if it works and go from there. So that'll be my next little project going on here in a minute. Okay, so this is my convertible top wire. This would be the ground off of the pump. Here is the pump. I'm going to set it to the side for the moment. I got Jane in the car. I'm going to see if, I'm going to start off see if I got power here, because this is going to be reversible, so I can get power to either side. That'll make the top go up and up or down. So, all right, try it one way or the other. Try the other way. I'm not getting nothing. Nothing. Just hold it over to one side. Oh. There we go. We got 12 volts there. Hang on. Hold it the other way. All right, got 12 volts there. So, getting power. So now I can try my pump, and hopefully it doesn't have any hydraulic fluid in it, because it'll spit at me. So give me a second here. So back to decent ground. Hey, try one way or the other, just bump it. Yeah. Nothing? Hit it hard. Hold it over one way. Hold it on the other way. Okay, I can feel the motor trying to turn. Okay, I'm getting very hot here. Okay, let go of it. Okay, try again. Okay, let go of it. All right, I think my motor or my pump one is locked up. So this may be very short-lived. I'll have to see what I can do. All right, you can shut the car off. So I got my motor apart. My pump is what's locked up. If you look, I was told it was rebuilt. So evidently it was rebuilt 2 of 97. Know how long ago that was? Been a while. Check my cylinders here and see if they say when they were rebuilt. But my thought at the moment is, I mean, they don't look like they've been rebuilt to me, but they just look like dirty old cylinders. They're light as can be. Yeah, they haven't. If they've been rebuilt, they've set somewhere horrible. So, okay, new plan. Power top's going to wait. I'll work on the convertible top, and when we get it all done, I will be trying to find parts. My thought processes at the moment is measure out cylinders. And if I can get the cylinders the right length, then I could grab any 12-volt 60s convertible top pump motor and hoses and figure out how to make it work. So I think it'll be all right for now. We'll just have to put it up and down by hand, which is what we were doing before. So no biggie, right? All right, so she's cleaning up the top right now to throw some paint on it. take care of any rust spots, and then I'll probably be ready to start trying to put pad and stuff on. I did do something completely by accident, but I thought it might be a good idea. The bows, I actually measured from here to the bow. Actually, it's here to the bow, and then from this bow to this bow, and from this bow to this bow, and wrote them on my garage wall. Actually, my door. Where's it at? Right there. So the front one was 3 3/4 from the back one, and then it was 20 3/8, and then it was 18. I wasn't sure if that was going to be important because it felt like these stayed kind of where they're supposed to be. But the first time we took it up, these guys moved. So yeah, I'm going to want them where they were. So yeah, yay me. I'm smart. SMRT. All right, I'm on convertible top day 2. The only way I know to go about this is the way I was trained. Like somebody just tried to steal my lunch money, and you know, I'm a fat kid. You can't steal a fat kid's lunch money. What are you, crazy? So this is, I guess, what I would call the sail panel. I don't know what the terminology is. So, but yeah, so I took these off in one piece for this simple fact that I knew I would have to trim up. So I'm just going to lay this dude out. I'm going to leave it just a smidge long. And mark it off here with some chalk, soapstone actually. I have to, I can trim it up more on the car, but that leaves me just a little long. So that's good in my book. And then I get my fancy shears and just trim it up. It's one thing that you can never not have enough of is fancy shears, man. So yeah, it's technically probably not cold. I don't want to say cold enough for the heater because it depends on who you are, but I need the heater because of the convertible top more than me. I could work out in this right here, it's fine, but I need to get it a little warmer so that way when I'm stretching and gluing and all that, my top is actually still in the house where it's warm. So you know, he was like, you can lay it in the sun. Yeah, I might end up doing that. We'll see. If I lay it in the sun where I live, chicken will walk on it, peck at it, cat will sleep on it. You know, I don't know, donkey will poop on it. It's hard to say. So right now I'm hoping that I can lay it out and stretch it without it having to be in the sun so much. I may get it on the car kind of, and then back the car out, and then I don't have to worry about all those things. So we'll see what happens. So one of the things that I noticed right off the bat, this is my old sail panel. He is one solid piece, and this one has a split in it. So I don't know which way it's supposed to go out, but I'm going to put this way out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some tack glue. I'm going to glue this dude together, and then, you know, when it goes on the car, it'll get all stapled down, and it shouldn't go nowhere. So, yes, I'm spraying tack glue right on the car. Why? Because that's how I roll. All right. So we'll let that one set and dry, and I'll get the other one. All right, so before any of the top stuff goes on, the well liner's got to go in. This protects the convertible top when it's down from the trunk and the springs and rubbing on stuff and getting dirty. And it's got to go down because it covers this area and it'll go under here. So if you try to put it on after the top, you're going to pull this sail panel piece back off. So this was bought off Rock Auto because it was like uber cheap and it might not fit the best. We'll see. Because I mean, so far I was looking at it and I'm like, it looks like it'll go pretty good. You know, I mean, this wraps over, this wraps over, this just feeds down in here. So not perfect, which is fine. Couple staples here. Put these buttons in. Hope you've seen that, but I was poking buttonholes with a paper punch. Worked really well on this. So you know, hey, I'm not exactly sure how to go about clamping this back right now. I think it's just going to have to wait until the chrome strip goes on, and you know, it'll get clamped down then. The only thing I don't know if I should do is if I should try putting the top down to make sure it clears everything, now or later. Should probably do it now. Okay, you talked me into it. It's about time something went right. Did you get that? It's about time. Sorry, my Canadian brethren. I have a brother. He lives in the Canada. No, the Canadian, whatever it is. But yeah. And to make it better, he's one of the choice brothers, you know. I mean, you get those ones you have to have. I've got one of those. You get the ones that you get to choose. Got a couple of those. So anyway, all right. Boot. I'm pretty happy. So it's time to move to pads, I guess. So if you remember right on the pads, on the wall over here, where's that? Right there. Right there. My measurements for my ribs. Rib. And once I get those set up where I want them, then I'll put the sail panel on. I don't know if that's correct per se, but I know this measurement, but I don't know this measurement, so it shouldn't matter. I ought to be able to move this to that 18, wherever, you know, and hook this down, and then I can hook the pad here, kind of pull a little tension, maybe not, I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I'm spitballing. So this I'll put you on hyperlapse again so you can watch, and maybe, just maybe, it'll take longer than 2 seconds. Okay, pad is back on both sides. Can't really say if it's good, bad, or indifferent. I got some trimming to do up here where I pulled it. It needs to go even with this. But yeah, the other side needs the same thing. A few staples that hit metal need pulled out. So, but I guess it's okay. So I think this is the next step. This is where I ordered my top from. It's not really a shameless plug, but because they cut me no breaks, no slack, no nothing. But that's where I got it at. Can I say that the top was made well? I don't know yet. Can I say that they made it correctly towards Studebaker patterns? I don't know yet. Can I say that if it doesn't look good, it's their fault? Oh no, I cannot say that at all, because it'll definitely be my fault. Just pretty confident of that. So anyway, I'm going to look at this back window. This should be the back window. That'll be the next piece to go on. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll unwrap it. So since I got the window laying out in the sun, warming up, trying to get it flat because it is very wrinkled because it's been in a tiny little box, I'm going to go ahead and get the top out and see what I can do with it. So I don't know what I will do for sure. I maybe I'll back Elvira out and put it on top of Elvira. I mean, I wouldn't think it would hurt her, but that would give something for the top to lay on. And I think that's a good idea. I think that's what I'll do. I'll back her out and put that on there. And I'm just going to unwrap it and lay it out. And then I'll show you what it looks like laid out. Okay, that seemed like the thing to do. So here's the top kind of laid out. You can see I wasn't sure about this piece. So this does staple down along the... Quiet, Rachel. Does staple down along the top beam. So I thought it would be two pieces, but it is one. So, you know, I'll figure it out. And then that little chrome piece goes over top of it. So yeah, this could look amazing or like crap. We'll see. The sun says it's gonna look amazing. But, you know, hey, we'll see. I'm trying, man. So this is that piece I was referring to. So that goes right here on this rib. There's the two little new chrome pieces. I'm getting nervous. But, you know, if it keeps the rain out and it doesn't blow off going down the road, it's a win. So, you know, if it looks good, that's like a major victory. That's like the war's over. So, you know, but I think I did have this quoted, and it was $3,000. And I was like, I don't have $3,000. The top kit was $700. That was a tough pill, but, you know, it's easier to come up with $700 than it is $3,000. So here I am. I'm digging at it. And so make me nervous? Sure. Am I afraid of it? No. It's the worst I can do. Screw it up? Yeah. Oh, well. So anyway, don't be afraid to dig in there. Sometimes you just got to try. And worst you can do is screw up. And if it cost me $1,400 to get it right, it's still cheaper than $3,000. So, I mean, $3,000, you know, I could do this 4 times and still be cheaper. So I think I'll get there. I think I'll get there this time. Could be wrong. So I made a little makeshift aluminum framework. This is the top of my window, okay? So I want to find the center. So I wanted to stretch it out a little bit. So I knew I was getting the center. I measured the bow, and I've got a mark on it for the center. So I want to line my 2 centers up, and then I'll know where my middle is, and then I can staple down, and you know, my window will be centered. So that's my plan anyway. Will it work? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. So, you know, we'll get it. So I'm going to mark my center. So that's my center. I'm curious if this little nick is an actual nick or if they meant that to be my center. But if you look, there's another little nick right there. So I think it was just this material, but I could be wrong. But yeah, that's my center that I want to line up with my mark on my bow. And that should make that window, as we stretch it across that bow, even. So, yeah. And I also have some 1/2-inch staples in or out, because I don't like the staples on that back bow, especially because it was a little soft on top. So I want to get them all the way through the back, that back bow, and it's like 3/4 inches thick. So I'm going to get 1/2-inch staples and see if that'll give me a little better bite. I'll feel more comfortable then. So anyway, but I think on the top, except for where the pads aren't in the front, well, no, there won't be no pad there. So I can use quarters on the underneath side, 1/4 inch, you know, where it wraps around the front. It's going to go to the bottom. Those will be 1/4 inch staples. And then I can use the 1/2 inch on the side too. And that'll give me a little more bite into that strip as well. That's my plan. They sent 3/8. I want to go 1/2. So we've just kind of thrown the top up there. And we were talking about these two flaps. And I think this flap needs to go down first, and then this flap over top, because when it rains, the rain's going to come this way. If you put it this way and you're driving in the rain could go underneath this flap easier. Even though there's going to be a piece on there, I think this is the way it's meant to be. So that's my goal. So I've got to kind of square this up. I need to find center of it, staple it down, and then I got to find center of this, staple it down, and then I can work forward. And you can see I got kind of plenty hanging off the front, so I think I'm okay. After I get this stapled down, then I can figure out where I need to move this to pull it enough forward to wrap it. It's got plenty to wrap, but I need to pull it tight because I got to raise it up. So I got to mark it where I think my front line needs to be. So let me just come around here. Like when I get this pulled tight, right there's the edge of my convertible top. So just because I've got it pulled tight by hand, don't mean it's tight enough. I'm going to back up about 1/2 inch or so. And then I'm going to make some kind of line with like soapstone or something that'll wipe off real easy. And then I'll pull it down because I'll raise the top up to wrap it, and we'll glue it and staple that. I think that's the plan. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just winging. So okay, while I was trying to line it up, what I discovered was my old top had flaps, and they went like this, mounted underneath. This top does not have flaps. It's got a channel right here that a cable is supposed to run through. So that cable runs down. It's got a spring that's supposed to hook somewhere. So while the top fits, it's not designed just like the top that was on it. And for a DIYer that's never done this, that makes it more difficult, because now I've went into creating mode, because I've got to figure out how to make this style top work on this frame, and I'm sure it will. And I'm sure a good upholstery shop would be like, oh yeah, that's no problem. You do this, this, and this. I am not that. So yeah, I'm going to do a little research here for a few minutes and see if I can figure out the best plan of attack to make this work. Because I'm not sure. I do know there's 2 little brackets right here. These are going to have to go away. I don't know what was supposed to go there. But that's okay, because that's going to be right in this flap, and you know, just needs to go on. But they left me plenty down here, so you know, if I had a really good sewing machine, I would cut some of that and I would just make this thing work like the original one worked, but I don't. So, yeah, supposedly made off the original patterns. Looks like it sets up there good. So yeah, the pattern seems right, but the design, the style of the way it mounts, I'm sure this cable's more than normal. I'm going to find all kinds of stuff about this cable, but it's not the way 61 Studebaker did it. So anyway, all right, I'll be back. Okay, I'm not super ecstatic about this, but there's my spring. I drilled my frame, put a screw in it, mounted my spring. My cable runs through this piece here, on up around. It's got a flap right here that it hides behind. Then it runs through its channel, and it runs up to this screw right here. That's supposed to keep it from moving. When everything's pulled snug tight, we'll see. I may have to mess with these cables some more. I don't know. So here's the screw hole on the one side and the screw hole on the other side. And I just have to run the cable through this little channel right here. Okay, so it runs through that. Comes out there. Goes behind that flap. Runs into this. And I may have to trim this off a little bit. Because the way this sets down in. But I think once I get this side down where it's supposed to, that side will be pretty snug. I really wish it was wrapped like the factory, but you can't always get what you want. This piece up front will be wrapped and tied down under. That'll help. And then this piece right here will also be tied and under. So that will, both of those spots will help. I'm thinking it's going to have some air leak to it. I just don't see how. But, you know, being a convertible, it's not our everyday car. It's going to be a nice weather car. I could have got by probably without a top at all. But I'd like to have the top so that way we can take it on a little further journeys. And, you know, if it rains or we stay at a hotel or something, we can put the top up, lock it up, you know. So yeah, we're getting there. This was just a curveball that I was not expecting to have to do. So yeah, give me just a second. I'll see if I can get this set up where you can see how I ran the cable. And I'll just keep plugging away and it'll come out like it comes out. So I'm going to take this rod to run through the little track that I was talking about. If I can get it in there. And it's just long enough to go all the way back. So you can see where he comes out. And I'm going to feed the cable up next to him. And pull that guy out. And then I got to feed this down through this, which just barely fits, but he fits. And ironically enough, this little guy will work the same way. So once I get him out all the way, then I can pull him out, and that is fed. So now I need a screw so I can mount this guy, pull everything over. This. I'm going to feed this guy down under my chrome real quick. Kind of helps him hold into place better. Okay, that guy goes there. This guy goes here. So this is going to go in that hole right there. But before I do that, I have to put an end on him. Easy Convertible Top Company only sent me one when I need two. And I'm sure it's not exactly their fault because they probably, you know, get that stuff, that cable kit from another company. And another company's probably from China. And I hate to say that. That's just being stereotypical or something. You know, it could just easily be, you know, any place in America that can't count to two. So I want this kind of tight, so I'm kind of stuck here at the moment. It needs to go a little further. Okay, that should get me about where I want to be. And then got to take the hammer, and that's all you do is smash them guys down. Trying not to hit the top, but like him, and then I got to cut off the excess, which requires my lineman pliers. So you cut this off. Like that. And then this will feed through here and hopefully halfway line up with that hole there. And if it's not tight enough after everything settles in, I will have to buy another one of those wire kits and redo it. Thanks, Easy Top. But there, that's not so bad, but I would rather have that lip that went all the way over and underneath, but you know, without having somebody make it, I think this is my option. All right.
So what you're saying is easy is misleading.
Yes, everything that says it's easy is not always easy. Some things that say they're not easy are very easy. So you got to watch that as you get older and learn about things in life. But anyway, all right, I think we're ready to start stapling the back window, and I'm going to need her help for that instead of just camera stuff. So let's see if we can set up a tripod. Okay. So, as I discussed earlier, I need to staple this piece down first. So, you got to pull both of these about where they need to be. Kind of figure it out. It's pulling on the roof unit now because I don't have the roof unit latched and it's got the cables in it. So, let's give me one of those clamps. Get this one where I think it ought to be. And I'll come over there and we'll get that one where I think it ought to be. And then we can kind of look at it and see if that's where it ought to be. That looks pretty good, I think. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, I think right there. That's about where it needs to be. Stepping back, looking at it, that's all you can really do, right? I may have to go to the longer staples, but I'll find out in a second. So there, I put 3 lines to show where my front edge is, because I gotta wrap this dude around and staple it. So that means the top's gotta go up some to do this. So that's where the top's going now. Until I get the other stuff, but I think it's pretty close. So I probably need to raise it up like that again, pull my back tight and get it mounted down, and then I can start putting my sides on and then finish up the front. Whew. This is a lot.
Whoa, whoa.
So I had to remove my spring from the what's that called? The frame, and move it to the body. So we moved it over here and readjusted it. So hopefully that works. We'll see. It raises up and down better now. So now I got to work on the front edge. So I glued the top down, clamped it, and I've let it sit for, I don't know, I guess about 36 hours because I didn't feel like working on it last night. So that's pretty good. There's a spider. He's dead. Get rid of him. But it's not too bad. It's got a couple of wrinkles going in it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark this with a marker, whoop, 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 and then take all these screws back out, take this back out, and cut it just inside that mark so it sticks underneath my chrome, and get that put back down, and then get my trim put on here to hold this piece of flappy material over. And then I think I'm in pretty good shape. I just have to do this guy. So this guy gets glued and then little screw dealios on the end. So yeah, that's where I'm at. Let's see what we can get done. I'm ready to be done with the convertible top. It has been a job. window trim and then put the interior stuff back in.
Right. You're not doing that tonight, right?
I know. No, the top is done. That was the goal.
Okay.
Top done.
Convertible top care.
Okay. So let's take a close look at everything here. So you can see get little wrinkles right there, little fold right there, a couple little wrinkles right there. I think some of that will come out in the sun. You know, I've heard some people say that like convertible top places that do tops all the time, they steam them. That's not going to happen unless we, you know, get the summertime. We set some water inside it and let it, you know, evaporate. So in the front, not bad. I can live with it. Perfect? No. Better than it was? A lot. Can see out the back window. And I think she'll work. Cool. Yay us. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than Redneck Muck. Peace.